Temu is one of the most downloaded apps. The Chinese shopping platform offers a variety of products at really low prices. But May says if you have the Temu app on your phone, the company knows where you've been, who you've been talking to, and what you're doing on other apps.
The scope of this invasion of privacy is enormous, and that's why I consider it possibly the gravest violation of the Arizona Consumer Fraud Act that we have ever seen.
So it turns out that Temu is not just a little orange app that sends you $3 dopamine hits. Arizona's Attorney General just filed a bombshell lawsuit against Temu, accusing them of hiding malware-like code within the app that was secretly harvesting your data and ripping off local businesses. And she's calling it one of the worst customer fraud cases that her office has ever seen. So while that's all going on in court, people are also popping up on social media wondering, why is Temu still hitting my credit card after I've already checked out? Or why exactly did my 100% cashback offer split into multiple shipments and extra fees so that my deal disappeared? Today, we're digging into Temu's 3 big red flags: the Arizona lawsuit and what it actually alleges, the reports of mystery charges and duplicate debits, and how Temu's coupons and wild cashback promos can actually flip free money into costing you more money than you plan to spend. All right, so let's talk about what's really going on behind those shop like a billionaire ads.
Temu a scam? Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays says yes, it is, and she's suing them over misleading business practices and what she says is spying on users. Paying for one thing, getting another. Stories like these aren't hard to find on social media.
Some of the worst violations of the Arizona Consumer Fraud Act that I have ever seen.
Now, Arizona's Attorney General is suing Temu, citing those complaints of misrepresenting products and unveiling her office's investigation into even deeper issues.
This Chinese-based company is spying on every Arizonan who has installed it.
May says a forensic investigation she ordered found the app is designed to infect devices with malware and spyware, stealing private information while hiding its tracks.
If it sounds Orwellian, it's because it is. The scope of this invasion of privacy is enormous.
That information, she alleges, is then subject to be shared with the Chinese government, since Temu is owned by a Chinese company. The concerns echo those amplified over another Chinese-owned app, TikTok, which saw federal intervention over its ties to China in the last few years.
I think it is more egregious than TikTok in a number of different ways.
Mays also says the site can be seen outright stealing copyrights of brands, including Arizona-based ones. Worst of all, international reporting has indicated Temu uses forced labor to produce its products. Temu denies the allegations, calling them unfounded.
Of course Temu's gonna call them unfounded. You think Temu's really gonna come up here and be like, yep, that's us. We did all of that. We duped you stupid Americans in and lured you in with the idea of buying a laptop for 39 cents, and then we stole your data and we spied on all of your local businesses and we ripped off all of your state-branded clothing, and we're selling your data without your knowledge because you didn't really realize it, but when you signed up for the app, you check-marked a box and you stupid Americans didn't read it, and so yeah, we're doing all this stuff. Temu's not gonna do that. Of course they're not gonna do that. But what's scary about this whole thing is that, like she said, they did an internal investigation and they found all of this hidden malware and data collection inside the Temu app. And I agree with the sentiment that Temu is actually worse than TikTok. They're both China-based apps, but Temu is worse because a lot of people can resist downloading TikTok, right? Because we've got Facebook Reels, we've got Instagram, we've got YouTube Shorts. People that are wanting the funny or interesting or informative short form content, they don't have to go to TikTok. But in a time where people are having to find ways to make every dollar stretch, it's really hard to resist those coupons and deals that Temu be throwing at us. So of course people are a lot more likely to download an app where you can save a boatload of money on things that you might want or need versus paying full price somewhere else. And allegedly, Temu knows that and they're abusing it.
There are so many lawsuits against Temu right now, including class actions. But before you download the app, let me tell you the terrifying things that the state of Arizona said about Temu in a lawsuit they just filed. Arizona says not only do you need to delete your Temu account, you also need to uninstall the app. Then you need to scan your device for any malware and potentially do a full factory reset. Because according to the lawsuit, even after you uninstall the app, Temu can still track you and still take your data. But I get it, you guys, this looks so soft there. It even says free in Temu app. But the most terrifying allegation is that in spite of Temu's security and privacy guarantees, the lawsuit alleges that Temu installed the ability to track you in an encrypted way intentionally to evade forensic review. This allegation is that so they could track you without you or anybody else ever knowing that they could track you. Your precise physical location, your activity on all other apps, even when you're not using Temu, your microphone and your camera, and allegedly even after you uninstall the app. There is so much litigation, so many possible settlements, and I will keep you updated on all of them.
So she is always on top of lawsuits. This is the lawyer Angela. I'll make sure to link her down in my video description, just in case you want to get in on any potential settlements against Temu. And what's even crazier is that Arizona is not the first state. There are multiple lawsuits. Arizona is just the one that was filed a few days ago. Similar lawsuits have been filed in Kentucky, Nebraska, and Arkansas. So you could just about frame it as a growing pattern in state level cases. It's not just one AG grandstanding. And moving on from that, there are Better Business Bureau complaints that mention multiple charges, disputed duplicate charges, and consumers are also saying that they never authorized all amounts taken. There was also Reddit users over on the subreddit scams that were talking about how they placed a Temu order and then started seeing fraudulent charges way after the fact that they had placed that order. Even charges from other retailers such as Shein, despite never actually having shopped on the site, which makes them believe that all of their payment details were compromised. Again, correlation does not equal proof, but with what we're hearing coming out now about malware potentially being installed in your phone, all of the alleged shady background stuff that Temu is doing when you download the app to your phone, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
If you are doing anything, I need you to stop right now and listen to this. Now, Temu is owned by a Chinese company. It's only been around since July 2022, but 50 million people have already downloaded the app. They're attracted by those eye-popping deals. But beware. The BBB has received 900 complaints nationwide. Many involve product quality issues, shipping delays, and never receiving items paid for. But that's not all. The biggest issue the BBB has with Temu involves your privacy. The consumer organization found Temu collects not only customers' names, addresses, and phone numbers, but birthdays, pictures, and anything else they can find from your social media profiles. The BBB says Temu gets additional information from your phone, your iPad, your computer, any device you use to access the app. That means you're exposing your operating system, IP address, your GPS location, and browsing data. That type of access concerns cybersecurity experts who say that leaves the door open for someone to bypass security settings to spy on your other apps, change settings. That would leave you vulnerable to identity theft. The BBB recommends you do not download the Temu app, or if you have, delete it. Don't click on those sponsored ads you see on the social media, no matter how good.
So my bank details got sold to the black market by Temu. I'm not f***ing around right now. So they took $400, but it was in like really small portions for 2 months. So like once a day they would take out like $3. So like you don't catch on to it. And I kept getting messages from the bank I was with being like, suspicious activity. And I was just like, this is so bullshit. I'm not falling for this shit. They just want me to click the link and then they can hack me. So anyways, I got like 5 of them, just like $100 been taken out. Like, is this you? Like, you need to reply yes or no, this is you or not. And I was just like, well, it's not me, but I'm not falling. So eventually I was like, just like to mum, I think my account's been hacked. Like, because I couldn't buy something today. Like my card wouldn't link up and I was like, I'm so stupid. So I call them, I call my bank and I'm just like, hey, like, I think my card, like, can I talk to like the fraud people? Like, someone's like hacking my card. And they're like, yeah, of course. And then I talked to them and they were like, oh God, okay, we've got 3 pages here of things that they have taken out of your account. Like, we're just going to go ahead and like claim that wasn't you. And I was like, what the and like all of them were from like different countries and like different people, because the black market people use like a different IP address or something, I don't know. And I was like, that is so awesome. What are they buying? They couldn't even tell me. They were just like, yeah, we don't know. Like, it's just the most random stuff ever. And I was like, okay, what do I do? And they were like, we're just gonna have to send you a new card.
So, okay, so this is the other thing too. So she was saying that she kept getting fraud alerts from her bank and she thought that those were the scams. And that whole idea absolutely blows my mind. Not because she thought it was a scam, because it easily could have been, but nowadays in 2025, I mean, it's almost 2026 now. I'm a little bit afraid to see what the next year is gonna bring. But it is so crazy that in the time that we live in now, we can trust nothing. We could trust nothing. We can't trust an app that's trying to give us a good deal without selling our data to the black market or sending us crap instead of what we thought we ordered. We can't trust a text message that we get that says that they're from our bank and want us to click a link in order to verify that a purchase is legitimate and not actually fraud. We can't trust emails that we get. We can't trust phone calls that we get. No wonder we are all so fearful every day, because everyone is out to get us. So all I want to say about this is, if you are, contacted by your bank or something and you do think that you are, being approached for a scam, don't click anything. The best thing to do is just to call your bank. Don't ignore it and assume it's a scam. Just reach out to your bank. Don't wait for them to call you. Don't click on any links that you might get in emails and text messages. Just reach out and call them, because it is so easy for credit cards to get compromised now, whether you're buying through an app or a website, or even swiping a card at the grocery store. Skimmers are like this whole big thing that a lot of people don't even realize.
Yeah, be careful, y'all. Look. You see that? You see where we at? We on Golden State, yo. Golden State and Shaw. They out here with the shits. Look.
Credit card skimmers being on credit card machines at even just a gas station could rip off your card information. So that's a whole other thing. But anyway, going back to Temu, I'm not saying that this kind of stuff happens to everyone, but it's happening to some people, and that should be enough to make you not want to buy on the site.
Yeah, so my bank details got sold to the black market by Temu.
She's not lying. Currently, I'm going through the same thing. I don't know if it was because of Temu, but the situation happened right after I made some purchases from Temu, and I was already sketched about the website, but I've heard good stuff about it. But I checked my account like last Friday. I was at $1. And I called my bank immediately. It happened like fast. I wasn't getting like monthly charges. It all happened at once, and they broke it down to like $23, $5, $1. Like, it was broken down, so my bank didn't tell me nothing. Next thing you know, $500 gone. And I just had gotten paid, so luckily I paid my bills. But I'm like, this is not a joke. Like, you have to be careful. And
Couple of things too. Always make sure that you are checking your bank statement daily. It might sound like it's obsessive, but I mean, come on. If a lot of us don't have a lot of money in our bank anyway, we should be checking it every day so we don't throw that shit into overdraft and end up getting charged a bunch of bank fees. Don't give the banks more money than they deserve. Watch your balances. Don't throw shit into overdraft. So try to look at your bank account every single day, because like she said, it was $1 here, $3 here, $5 there. The bank is not going to contact you for that. That's the reason why these websites and why scammers that steal your credit card information, that is the exact reason why they don't do large transactions. They want to float under the radar with your bank. Your bank is is only going to contact you if it's an unusual amount coming from an unusual place, like it's not a regular purchase of yours, maybe over $100, maybe over $500, maybe 20 different transactions outside of the country. Those are the only circumstances where the bank might flag your account. I'm pretty sure that most banks now too, you can actually reach out to them and talk to them and let them know, hey, I do not make any purchases outside of the country. So if there are any international debits on my account, make sure to flag it immediately. And the second thing I wanted to say is, if you are making purchases or if you want to make a purchase on a site like Temu or something that's questionable, for the love of God, do not use your debit card. I know that credit cards get a bad rap, but I'm telling you, I love credit cards. I use credit cards for everything. I love the reward points. I love the cashback bonus offers. As long as you're responsible with credit cards, they can be a very, very valuable tool, especially if you're young and needing to build up your credit. If you use a debit card and it gets stolen, they will drain your actual dollars out of your bank account versus draining a line of credit. And a lot of credit cards, yes, debit cards, a lot of banks and debit cards do offer the same protections as credit cards, but the problem with having your debit card drained or your bank account drained versus a credit card is if your credit card gets drained, if your limit gets eaten up and you file fraudulent charges, the credit card will replenish your balance and at least you still have your cold hard cash sitting in your bank account. If they drain your bank account, you have no money. You can't pay your rent, you can't pay your utilities, you can't go buy groceries. It's just be safe. And at least if you're going to buy from questionable websites, at least use a credit card that offers you some better protection and protects the money in your bank account. And then the last scam that I want to talk about is people noticing that all of these exclusive cashback offers or coupon opportunities are ending up making them spend more money than they thought, allegedly because of some sneaky back-end work that ends up splitting up the orders and breaks up the transaction to void any cashback offers or coupon offers, or ends up making you spend more money because the shipments are broken up and you have to pay more in shipping. It ends up kind of canceling out your cashback offer. So the problem with this is if you are lured into the app and if you are coerced or enticed to buy more things than you originally were going to just so that you can use a coupon code, which, let's face it, is a classic marketing tactic, you end up spending more money and buying things that you didn't even need to use a coupon that's not even relevant anymore because of the extra money you had to spend. So this is Ronnie Lynn on TikTok, and I'm gonna let her share her story and what happened to her when she tried to use a cashback offer on Temu.
So irritated at myself, I fell for a stupid Temu thing this morning. So I never get on there. I don't hardly ever order off of them, but I went on there this morning randomly because I was looking for something for my car. So I went on there randomly to see if they had it, and they did. But then they pop up this thing where, like, if you get so many points, you get $130 cash back on your PayPal. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that would be cool because then I would get this thing for, less money or whatever. So, and it already gave me a certain number of points. So I'm like, okay, well, I only need so many points. And I had calculated with the cash back how much I would have to spend in order to get the points, which it wasn't bad. But it kept stopping me after 3 or 4 items and then doing a crap ton of shipping cost for each one. And by the time I calculated it out and was finished, and I'd already pushed complete for like 6 different transactions it made me do, as a scam. Shame on them. I will not be shopping from them ever again because I don't mind shopping if things are upfront and honest, but that was a scam. They had to keep closing out my cart, and then of course it was timed to make you feel pressured. Total scam. I should have canceled the orders. I just should have just canceled them. But I was afraid that they were going to do a thing like, well, if you cancel, you only get a portion of your money back. Shame on them. That is not the way to get customers. disgusting. So anyway, so that happened this morning. I'm super annoyed because, I mean, it's not like I crazy overpaid for the stuff with the shipping, but the shipping was ridiculous. And it having to break it into like, I think it was 6 different orders. And it was purposeful as 6 different orders because of the shipping. Disgusting. I'm irritated. I should know better though. I should know better.
There's a lot of people that get on social media and they rant about Temu and they all say the same thing. I should have known better. I should have known better. But we get sucked in. They are good at what they do. That's why they're so successful. That's why Temu is so massive. That's why over 50 million people have downloaded the app. They're good at what they do. They do all of the classic gambling techniques with the flashing lights and the wheel spinning, and my God, the amount of emails and advertisements they send out to try to tell people, hey, come and buy this. This is now $100 off. Hey, come and do this. If you buy 3 things, you'll save $30. They're very, very good at what they do, and it just leaves all of us feeling stupid when we get taken advantage of because we should have known better. We should have known better. Now, an honorable mention in the scam side of Temu is actually something that comes from the funny Temu fails videos that we see on social media all the time. I actually have a second channel where some of my most popular videos are Temu fails because a lot of them are very, very funny.
I thought it looked nice. No, it looks hard. What the hell? You look like a peacock.
You know, there's a lot of the times people order something and they get something completely different and we can see the humor in it. But there is a scam side to that as well. It's the scam where people think that they're buying an item and instead of getting the actual item, they're just getting a photograph of the item.
Temu got me because I thought I was buying this bat ornament, not a fucking photo of someone holding the bat ornament. Like, what the fuck is this?
That is clearly a scam. However, it's not necessarily Temu. It's the seller on Temu that's doing that. In most cases, people have filed a complaint with Temu and they have gotten a refund for this because it is just a bad seller. But the problem is that Temu does not protect buyers in the moment. They will cover them after the fact, but they don't protect buyers from shopping with sellers like this until it's too late. And even though Temu might say that they're trying to make it right, it still doesn't correct the problem because they're letting sellers do this to their buyers. All right, so that is Temu in 2025. Let's see what happens in 2026. We've got states calling out the app for a potential spyware nightmare, consumers complaining about random charges to their bank accounts after they've made purchases, and cashback deals that somehow seem to be working out better for Temu than for you. If you've ever had a Temu order go sideways, whether it's mystery charges, canceled items, cashbacks disappearing, drop your story down in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that thumbs up. That helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. There is also a hype button down there. That's something new that YouTube is doing. So if you found this video helpful and you want to push it out to other people to make them aware of what's going on, just click the hype button. I love you for it. While you're down there doing all of those things, also make sure that you are subscribed and also ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post my next video. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.